Is every day an interesting day for energy stocks? Are we just in a market that doesn't ever seem to make sense and things are bizarre? Well, today was yet again another interesting energy day for energy. I'm going to go over the technicals first and then the fundamentals, because we did get new fundamentals and we saw incredibly bizarre technicals. What happened today in the technicals? Well, in the price per barrel of oil, we saw the price down almost 2% at one point. And then very quickly, we saw the price back in the green and then closing just right around the flat line, down less than 0.25%. That's incredibly bizarre. The supply and demand for energy is not changing 2% in a single day. The economic, fundamental supply and demand is not changing 2% in a single day. So what is that? That is paper traders playing around in the market. And we were seeing this phenomenon recently in the aggressive sell-off that we saw in energy stocks. And it looks like it's happening again. But not only was it in energy stocks at that point, it was also in the price per barrel of oil, which got down to 61 and change, I believe, per barrel, and is now back up to $68 per barrel. That's still a more than 10% move, or about 10% move. It might have been 61 and change off that level. So we're pretty well off that lower level in the price per barrel, and we're pretty well off the lows of the day. Now, for energy stocks, sure, each day has been interesting, but it's been the same thing occurring each day, which makes it very interesting. Each morning, Monday, Tuesday, and now Wednesday, energy stocks have opened up, stayed up for about 5 minutes, and then spilled. Today, some were in the green. Yesterday, some were in the green big, the more fringe petroleum names. Today, some of the more fringe, but still very good. Fringe does not mean bad. It just means it's not ExxonMobil, which means it probably has less mainstream weak hands. For example, Energy Transfer was up today. I don't know that many people talking about Energy Transfer. It's trading at a 6 forward PE. You know, if it were a more mainstream name, that just wouldn't be the case. It would be just more demand for that stock. Up today. Exxon down big today. Weird behavior today. You know, maybe it has something to do with it. Regardless, it's not phasing me. The market takes the elevator on the way down and the stairs on the way up. Yes, it's concerning that we had such a big run last week, and this week it's just not matching up at all. It feels like a whole different environment all of a sudden. But the price per barrel of oil is up significantly from the lows before last week. A week from last Friday was the lows in the price per barrel of oil. Then it was up 5% a day. Also unnatural. But if you ask me, it's signaling that the weak hands are kind of being flushed out. That's what I believe is all this absurd behavior. Absurd behavior in the market. It's not natural. It's not natural at all. Last Monday, up 5% wasn't natural. Today, down 2% to flat is not natural. It's just strange behavior. And we just got to stick to it. Not, could not let 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days shift us off, but stick to the fundamentals. And the fundamentals today were the fastest OPEC meeting in history. No press conference. Just came out and said we're sticking to the agreement. The agreement that I believe will keep demand higher than supply. And I think that's by design. We are seeing now that the White House is definitely not going to lease that federal land. Yes, they had an executive order, but they asked OPEC to increase production, which didn't occur. They said yesterday they were putting deals on the table for solar and wind on the federal lands. So those federal lands aren't coming back for oil. OPEC says they foresee a demand or a supply excess next year. I think this is a bluff. OPEC does not want the price to fall, but they do want to scare out U.S. producers from producing. They don't want U.S. producers competing with them. It takes away their ability to price, and it takes away their market dominance. The whole reason why they exist is to make sure the price per barrel stays in their favor. Right now, U.S. producers are in line. They just suffered a whole lot. The administration doesn't like them. They want to stay at levels that are making them money. I don't think there's going to be a fall in the price per barrel. Last week was the highest, if I remember, and was given accurate information. Last week was the highest week in energy demand on record. How is that possible? We're in a pandemic. What's something that has occurred, bizarrely, that hasn't occurred before? A massive increase in the purchase of automobiles and a flock out of the cities. These two forces mean a lot more gas consumption. Highest week on record. I think that's going to pose well for the rest of the year and for the years to come, despite the EV wave for energy demand. So I don't see there being a surplus given all these forces. I remain firmly grounded in the position, the energy stocks I have. I remain very bullish, and 1 or 2 days can't shake me. I did have a concern. I did have something on the table that could really make me panic sell. That was China and Delta. We've seen how Delta's affected the market, particularly the energy market, and it's entirely, in my opinion, the reason for the panicking and the disparity between the price per barrel and the fall in energy stocks. China has gotten their Delta situation under control. They are now open and not worried about Delta. So we're sticking with it. Until next time, peace out.